Can you picture walking down the streets and you sight a beautiful lady walking towards you? And you actually think of talking to her, and asking her out, and telling her something beautiful, but you freeze in your mind. You are still walking, but you freeze in your mind, thinking, what do I say? How do I create good impression? And how do I actually make my intention known? But just while you're freezing and thinking about all of this in your mind, she has actually walked past you. And at the moment you realize she has walked past you, you feel like kicking yourself and beating yourself up for not being confident and not being able to actually approach her and express exactly how you feel about her beauty and how mesmerized you actually feel about her as a person. If this scenario sounds familiar, chill guy, you are not alone, because many men actually struggle with approaching and attracting a woman. I tell you that there's a simple and yet powerful techniques that you can actually use to make a woman to be drawn to you. I'm sure you'll be glad, right? So in this video, I'll be sharing with you some of the top tips for attracting a woman, from understanding how to talk to projecting confidence, and how you can make long-lasting impression on any woman you meet. And who knows, by you just practicing some of the tips I'll be sharing in this video, you might just become a minister of women affairs. That's a joke, right? That's just a joke. So sit back, relax, as we dive into learning the things that women actually find irresistible in men. So the first point to be talking about is body language. Yes, your body language actually plays a whole lot of role in if you would actually be attracting a woman. This is even your first impression that you give to them. Just simple body language, like looking into their eyes when you're having a conversation, standing up straight when you're standing. Just doing things rightly, the way it should be done with your body, that you're looking at her in the eyes while you're communicating with her. It's actually very cute for a lady. I can remember one of my friends then while I was in high school, and every time we'll have a conversation, he will actually either be looking down or be looking somewhere else. And I'm always like, wait, sorry, I don't understand. We're having a conversation, we're friends. Why are you looking somewhere else, or why are you looking down? Is it like you're not interested in the conversation, or you're not paying attention to me? Are you thinking of something? Like, I would find myself asking him questions all the time, like, are you thinking of something? Is there something bothering you? And he will be like, no. I'll be like, so why can't you look into my eyes and let's have a real conversation? Even if it's a chit chat, let's do it well. Doing whatever we have to do and doing it well. And he expressed the fact that he's actually the last born of his family, and the sibling that came before him actually had 7 years gap before him, and so because of that he can't look into their eyes, because for them it was a taboo when an elderly person is talking to look into their eyes. So he find it much more calm or much more comfortable to look down while talking to him. And for me, that looks like he's shy or timid, because I can't imagine why I'll be having a conversation with you and I'll be looking down or you'll be looking elsewhere. It just shows you're not actually paying attention. So because we're actually very close friends, it became a fact that I complain almost all the time, because I usually feel like, is it that you're not listening to me, or is it that you're not interested in the conversation? Am I forcing you to have this conversation? And he would often explain to me over and over again, and he started learning how to look into my eyes, even though I was already admitting to the fact that, okay, this guy doesn't just look up or look into your eyes when you're having conversation of any kind with him. But I started learning the fact that looking into people's eyes when you communicate shows attention. It's not really a disrespectful thing. It's just something that shows attention. It shows you're actually interested in the matter. And that's just basically it. So your body gesture, learning how to stand right, learning how to look into the person's eyes, learning the posture to be when you're having conversation or when you're meeting up with your woman, can just be all that you actually need to actually attract her. Something as simple. The next point we'll be talking about is confidence. Yes, confidence is actually a major key. A major key when it comes to attracting a woman, because this actually involves you working on your self-esteem, knowing who you are for you. I actually created a video for you where I explain everything you need to know about relationship, your self-esteem, loving yourself the way you should love yourself, and being able to extend that same love to your partner or whoever woman you find, and getting them and sustaining the relationship. And I'm sure this is something you really want. I will be adding the link of that video to the description of this video. Please do go watch it after you're done with this video, as you'll be learning a whole lot from that video. A whole lot, So confidence is actually something that stems off from you being comfortable with you as you. It comes from simple things as you dressing well, I mean just looking good for yourself. You know, this feeling that comes when you're wearing a clothes that you're comfortable in. You just feel this self-fulfillment that you're good, compared to when you're wearing a clothes that somebody told you you're good in. Meanwhile, you don't feel comfortable with that clothes. You will just feel a little bit low because this internally you're not feeling the vibe of that particular thing, that outfit you're wearing. So this is basically what it looks like, having that confidence. It involves you having a nice haircut, having a nice hairdo, I mean just looking good as much as you can with your little capacity, smelling nice, as simple as it can be. You might be like, I don't even know a good perfume for myself, I don't know a good cologne I can use, I don't know the roll-on or whatever I can use, but you can reach out to a vendor who knows what is best for you and just tell them your budget, and you'll be surprised that there's a combo that involves a roll-on, a mist, perfume, and everything you actually need to smell good with a very small money, like very small money. And all of this will actually help in boosting your confidence, because you actually cannot attract a woman when you're not confident in yourself. As being insecure or looking insecure is actually a very big turn off to a woman, so it is necessary that you actually work on your own confidence. The next point we'll actually be talking about is good conversation skills. Good conversation skill is actually very essential in building connection with a woman. This just involves you listening attentively to her when she talks, giving your own opinion and experience about the matter you people are talking about, instead of you just shaking your head like a grandma Lisa, like you're just nodding in accordance, or you're just tuned off because you're not actually listening to her. This is like even one of the key things that got me about my husband. It became so irresistible, as a matter of fact, that every point, like everything I want to talk about, my husband has something to say about it, something good. He doesn't talk that much. That's not to say you should become a talkative, but he actually has constructive manner of putting every of the word, and I'm always amazed that, bro, how did you know about all of these things? Talk about menstruation, he knows it. Talk about woman hair, he has an idea. Talk about perfume, like I mean just talk about life, talk about finance, talk about health, other sectors of life. And the moment I bring matters like that up, you're surprised he has something to say. And this was one of the things that actually make me glued to him, and that made me turn him from just a best friend to become my husband by myself. I actually did a video about that. It's where I explained how I was able to convert my best friend to become my husband. If you want to learn from that, you can actually go watch the video when you're done with this one. So having good conversation skill is non-negotiable when it comes to building, attracting, and staying connected to a woman. It is very, very necessary. So the next point we'll be talking about is humor. Yes, humor is actually a great tool for breaking an ice, and at the same time it can actually make a woman to feel at ease with you, rather than saying it just the way you want to say it. Actually, I mean just straight up and expressing exactly how you feel. You can spice it up by adding some joke, rather than telling her what you like or what you don't like about her. You can add it up as jokes and be like, your level of height is just amazing to me. Well, that might just be that you just feel like her height is much, but she might just be like, wow, somebody is tripping for my height. Meanwhile, what you just meant was that the height is a little bit much, but it might not look that difficult or that harsh to her hearing it, compared to saying, you are so tall. No, that looks a little bit ridiculous and I mean straight up and difficult to swallow. There's always a better way to do it. Add humor to everything you want to do. This is one of the best ways to attract and actually sustain a woman, is by adding humor to your speech, to your attitude, just making things as easy as possible without even losing your points. Your point is still intact. You're still telling her exactly what you want her to know about that particular thing, but it is not as difficult or hard to swallow for her. I mean, simple as it can be, but still on point. The next point to be talking about is be respectful. Yes, respect is actually a very big tool you can actually use to attract a woman. I mean, respect in your tone of word, respect in your season of saying, and respect in the way you actually put your words, your approach. I remember Tom reaching out to me and saying that the baby actually really says he loves him but cannot marry him, and I was like, who does that? Why would she say that kind of thing? Because it really breaks his heart. He was so sad when he was talking to me, and I felt like, why would she say that? So I asked him, how did you tell her you actually like her to start up a relationship with you? And he explained to me that she had a breakup with her ex, and exactly as she was crying, he told her that instead of you jumping here and there looking for a relationship, me and you, we actually love ourselves and we can start a relationship. And the girl told him blunt out that same day that I love you but I can't be in a relationship with you. And this just actually showed that Tom loves the lady loves Tom, but Tom is actually not respectful in the way he puts it his word. The approach he uses in telling her that he loves her was actually very wrong. So all I told Tom was, okay, it's fine, you actually did a very big wrong by telling her that way. She's still in a very big heartbreak. The timing was wrong, the manner of saying it was wrong. So what you need now is to appeal to her sense of reasoning. Yes, appeal to her sense of reasoning. Ensure that you say it next time in a comfortable environment. Probably you went out for a dinner together, just like a time out as friends, since you love one another. It just shows respect, taking her to a place where you're sure she's comfortable, not necessarily taking advantage of her emotion because you're sure that she's currently hurt or she's currently not too happy, and then you want to take advantage of it. Women don't actually find that kind of thing interesting, so they want it to be that you give them a cool environment, you make it as friendly as possible. It just shows respect. It shows that you are actually coordinated. So all I told him was, create a scene. Don't make it the first time you're actually going for that kind of scene that you'll be saying, I would like to marry you. Make it something you do maybe once in fortnight. You just make out time to be together in a comfortable area. Let her be used with hanging around with you, and then one of those comfortable days you will ask her that you don't know if she'll be interested in being in a relationship with you, as you would like to take this friendship further because you're actually enjoying the friendship you both share and the bonding you both share. This just shows respect, rather than seeing her breaking up with her ex and that same day telling her that she should actually start dating you instead of dating any other person. It just shows that you want to take advantage of her. So respect is actually a very good key in attracting. So the next point we'll actually be talking about is show your passion. Yes, passion is actually something that actually keep women attracted to you. It brings them to you very fast. I remember when I was still like in my teenage phase and teenage church kind of stuff, David was actually our choir leader who was very, very good. I mean, very passionate at what he does. He sings from all his heart, plays any instruments you can think of. He's very good, very, very passionate and very good at what he does, leading the choir, coordinating the choir, and every Sunday was just a boom. And you'll be surprised that every girl in the church wants to be a choir member. Like, everybody wants to sing. So I actually realized from that phase that passion is something that is actually capable of attracting a woman. It's more like a smoke. It attracts them to you without you having to chase them or beg them. So what you should do, instead of trying to tell them what you're worth or what you're not worth next time, is show forth your passion, and you'll be surprised at how they will flock around you. And you have to be the one choosing who you actually want, because it will be so much. So put your passion outward. So the last but not the least point to be talking about is be yourself. I mean, this is the cap of it all. It's just being yourself. I remember Rayan was a colleague of mine at a time I was working in a food canteen, and it was just somebody who was among a lot of females. We were just a whole lot of female working in the environment. You know, it was an environment that requires some more females to do some other jobs more than men. So we had a lot of females. And Rayan will actually outdo himself. I mean, do things that the company did not pay him. Not out of benevolence or out of a good attitude, but just because he wanted to impress us, impress us. And it became so irritating to almost every woman in the workplace. Everybody was complaining. I mean, not even just young lady, even old women were complaining because it was just nauseating to everybody. And I remember Rayan knocking down because he was outworking himself, trying to be what he's not, trying to do beyond his capacity, and he outworked himself and fell sick. And by the time he left and was coming back, everybody was like changing it for him and telling him, don't overwork yourself, don't outwork yourself. So it was like as if instead of him attracting us like he wanted to do, impressing us, he was getting hatred and backlash from us. So he rested from trying to impress us, because he has not even spent a long time in the work. It was just about a month or so. He has not done up to 2 months of the work, and he was already getting sick and having to stay home for several weeks, about 2 or 3 weeks of rest, because he outdid himself trying to impress us. And when he came back, he actually relaxed from all of those trying to impress us. So he rested. And one of the things that happened when he rested was that I observed that almost every lady in the workplace started seeing the good in him. And this is one thing you need to know as a man, that there's always a woman who is attracted and appreciates that you're you. Like, I mean, who appreciates you for being you, not trying to impress, not trying to be someone else. Because there's one thing about even attracting a woman and relationship. You can't continue to pretend or trying to outdo you all the time just because you want to keep impressing her. It doesn't work that way. So I will tell you that being yourself is actually the biggest thing you can do that would attract a woman without you even doing anything. Like, I mean, effortlessly. You don't have to do anything. Just be yourself. Enjoy life the way you should do it. I mean, do things at your best capacity, not outdoing yourself and trying to do what is more than you just because you want to impress anybody. And you'll be surprised at how women will be flocking around you. They will just love you for who you are rather than you trying to be who you are not. Thank you so much for watching this video. So the best way to actually get a woman attracted to you is to actually be yourself. I mean, not trying to impress anybody, because you don't need it. In the real sense of it, you actually don't need it. Ensure that you respect them as much as you can. Respect every woman you meet. It doesn't even have to be someone you want to get attracted to or someone you want to ask out or anything. Just be respectful to people. Use your sense of humor. This is actually something very good that every woman likes. And also try to be confident as much as possible, because you actually need to be confident to actually be able to reach out to a lady of your dream. And this is the best thing you can do for yourself. Let us continue this conversation in the comment section. Do tell me things that a guy has done to attract you that are so irresistible to you as a lady, so that men can actually learn the things they need to do for us as women to actually attract us and to get us into a relationship with them. So if you are a man, do tell us the things you've also done to attract a lady that has actually worked well. I mean, real life experiences you had. Don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with others. It might just be what someone needs right now. I'm sure that you learned a thing or two, and the best way you can actually tell me you learned a thing or two is by saying something in the comment section. This is the most beautiful way you can express your heart to me. Also, don't forget to like this video and tap the subscribe button. Actually, when you tap the subscribe button, it makes the algorithm show you this kind of beautiful content once I create new one like this. And when you share and like this video, it tells the algorithm that this is a beautiful content that needs to be given out to others. I'm sure you don't just want to keep this beautiful information to yourself. You want others to get it. So do ensure you tap the subscribe button, like this video, and share to as many people as you know need it. My name is TemyNna. Until next time, bye.